Next up in our series, breaking down the 13 feminine seduction archetypes, we need to talk about the coquette. So let's get into it. You are a coquette woman if your primary archetype is the huntress. You still need to have some lover energy active in order to have that seduction element, but it might be your second archetype or further down the list. This is very different from the coquette aesthetic that has become so popular. That is more about being cutesy and girly and feminine, but an actual coquette is more about being a man-eater or a femme fatale. So I don't really know how those two got so confused. The coquette is emotionally distant and self-sufficient in a way that drives men to extremes, just like Vesper Lynd from James Bond Casino Royale. Your appeal lies in the way that you are very selective about what you spend your energy on, and you always keep people wanting more. Just like any version of Catwoman, the coquette is the archetype that is most likely to lead a man to ruin or to lead him to his downfall. Coquettes are bold, often quick-witted, they speak their minds, and they are adventurers at heart. Penelope Bridgerton is a coquette, and hear me out, the huntress is a freedom-seeking, driven, ambitious individual. The coquette wants nothing more than to live life on her own terms, be able to pursue her passions and her job or whatever she wants to do with her life. She doesn't want anyone to get in the way. There is literally a scene in Penelope's season where Colin Bridgerton is like, well, if you're so self-sufficient, what can I do for you? That is the coquette in a nutshell. When it comes to attracting men specifically, Summer from 500 Days of Summer is the perfect example of the coquette. Because coquettes are so emotionally secure in themselves, and because they're so selective about what they spend their precious time and energy on, it forces men to always be chasing the coquette, which they just can't get enough of the chase. We see some of the challenges that the coquette faces in Ramona Flowers from the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Because the huntress archetype is so solitary and independent, women like Ramona Flowers can come across to people that don't know them well as incredibly aloof, self-isolating, cold, cruel, and judgmental, and really hard to relate to or build any kind of relationship with. And this is why the coquette needs just a little bit of lover energy active in order to be a coquette and not just straight up the huntress. When you balance out the emotional distance of the huntress with just a little bit of more magnetic and warm lover energy, your cool personality comes across as a lot more interesting than just straight up bitchy. Something about Velma Kelly from Chicago just gives me man-eater, femme fatale, coquette vibes. The way the coquette manifests is she will stop at nothing to get what she wants, and she will eat you alive if you get in her way. She is driven. When she combines that with a little bit of lover energy, it allows that bit of magic to come in that's involved with the manifestation process, that metaphysical belief that things are going to work out in her favor. She does take a lot of action to get what she wants, but when the lover energy is involved, the rest just falls into place.